other theatrical crap because everybody's afraid of Tom Izzo. He's not going to hunt them down. He's not going to call the FBI. He's not going to call ICE on them. Call a damn technical foul or sit the kid's ass on the bench. That's what you have to do. I don't understand that. And I'm glad Brian stuck up for his team every single time. It is Bush League, and it needs to stop.
Brad, I don't know if you're connected, but you got thoughts on this?
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's no other way to describe it. It's really, really – I don't know how you watched that and didn't see that as a clear trip and an intentional play. I just don't get it. I do get it. But it's just ridiculous. And that's where what's going to happen, it's going to be one of those things when, like you said, Mike, I heard you talking earlier, somebody like Zvonimir Ivasic is going to take Fears out. I mean, and because eventually somebody's going to take him out because you're going to do this. Now, the fouls are going to look like they were 8-5, but they were really like 8-3 there because and it was I don't know because of the two fouls they gave at the end. But I mean ticky-tack fouls on Illinois. And then, Michigan State has to like club somebody to get a foul. So it's been pretty bad. Now, sometimes maybe it'll even out in the second half, but I don't think so. I think this was a game that they were meant to, I think they're meant to win. And I hate to say that games are fixed, but man, this just really looks bad. When you see that trip, especially a guy who's already under the microscope. I mean, that should have been a call and maybe it fixes some things. I mean, I'm stunned by that. I mean, it just shows you that they don't care. College basketball is a cash cow. They're going to keep making money no matter what, and they're not going to do anything to make it look bad. It's really pathetic of the Big Ten.
And the other thing is Tom Izzo is instead of this, he plays this little gargoyle like I care, but he's screaming at the refs like he's going to have a heart attack out there defending a cheap play. This is why Draymond Green is the way he is. This is Tom Izzo. This is what he stands for. You don't have to worry about somebody. They'll tell you what they value by their actions, kid.
If they would have called an intentional foul on him after he got one last week in Minnesota, it sends a clear message. I'm sorry, if I'm the Big Ten head of officials, you tell them to look for it. You tell them. Why are you hiding it? It's been on Fox, ESPN, Peacock, Big Ten Network, Big Ten Plus, Satan, hell, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's seen it. So what are you hiding it for?
Well, and here's the other thing. Ked, he's not going to change because no one is making him accountable.
Nobody's holding him accountable.
So why would he change?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's no need to change. And
we've
the
seen
thing
guys
is
what
this
Spears did with the kick to the groin and get suspended for games. We've seen guys, trip and get suspended, step on people, get suspended. We've seen all that happen. And he has a pattern of behavior. It's pretty clear. He's like untouchable. He's Grayson Allen on steroids.
If somebody retaliates, if they retaliate, they're going to be thrown out of the game. I guarantee it.
Well, and the thing is when you get a bunch of 20-year-olds and they decide they're going to, these guys are big dudes. And Fears is a 6-footer, but you see him in real life. He's a big dude. He's built. Well, these guys start getting into fights. Somebody's going to get hurt. And that's where the referees have to stop.
Here's the thing. Murkovich could have got hurt tonight. Lendeboard could have got hurt in that game against Michigan. This is bad stuff. It just can't happen. Now, the good thing is Illinois still had. I thought one of the big keys is that neither Z or Tommy got that third foul at the end of the half. They were able to play Z that stretch, and they should be. That's a big part of it is staying out of foul trouble. And the good news, Illinois only fouls 12 times a game. They only have 4 more this half. Then, right? Yeah, that's the way it's going to be, right?
Well, again, this is how, like I said, this is how people get hurt. And the three of us have coached enough guys in teenage years, and these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, more aggressive than anybody we've ever coached. And you just don't want to see it devolve into somebody getting hurt. But again, like I said, you see what it is. Izzo talks about having a discussion with Fears and feeling better. He watches it happen, and then he goes nuke on a ref. Again, I don't even want to start talking about, doctor controversies up there, but we see what he is. And
we don't know what was said, but for Tom, obviously they should have been discussing the intentional foul. He shouldn't have said anything except for, yes, sir, may I have another, and walk away. That's what he should have said. I'm frustrated with it. I'm tired of it. And you know what? For the people out there listening, you know what stings for me? I know that family like the back of my hand, and I'm so disappointed. So disappointed. I respond to people, you text, you call me. I'm putting this out there in public. I'm not responding. I'm upset because if that was one of my kids that did that, the coach wouldn't have to say a damn thing. Father Prince is going to take care of it. That is Bush League, and everybody in the country. I've seen Steve Bartle, a ton of NBA guys, all tell him to clean it up. And then you can't say it's innocent because this is the third time in 3 games that you've done it.
And to be honest, I don't even blame Izzo and Fears. Why should they stop? The Big Ten has to decide what they want to go on in the games. And look, the bottom line is it's so funny because, you look at Bobby Knight, who couldn't control his own actions, but he could control his players pretty effectively. And you just look at this and you go, well, it is what it is. Now, let's talk about the game. Illinois up by 4 points. I think the biggest thing Illinois has going for it is that Michigan State is not a good shooting team. If Michigan State was a better shooting team, it would have been a tougher half. But when you're up by 4 and Wagler's got 2 points and you have basically had a lot of issues just going back and forth with being struggling to get your offense going, Illinois has to feel like they're in a decent position, Brad.
Oh, I agree. I think the biggest thing has been, the fast break points, 14-0 for Michigan State.
Which both of you guys talked about before the game being important.
Yeah, that was one of the keys to the game. I think rebounding, Michigan State's hurt Illinois by getting some rebounds, but they haven't really converted well yet. I think they only have 5 second chance points to 10 for Illinois. But they have done, I think Michigan State getting out in transition is something they have to stop. You have to get back on defense, especially when it's a long rebound off a 3, a miss. But there was a couple, and that's going to happen at times. I get it. But they actually gave up, I think there was 5 points in a stretch off made Illinois baskets. You have to get back and find your guy quicker than that. They gave up a 3, I know, and I think they gave up another one on the rim. And off turnovers, it's going to happen, but the biggest things, you have to make sure that you are getting back when you make the shot. That's Tom Izzo. They put pressure. Get the ball to Fears, put the pressure on them, getting back and do that. So,
Brad, we talked about that before you joined us, that secondary break. That's money for them. That's how you get the lob dunk. That's how you get – they have 2 open threes from that. You made a run, and I'm going to be honest with you, even though we are – I'm going to say me, I'm not going to speak for you two, are complaining about the officiating. Illinois would be up by 9 or 10 points if they could get back and pay attention to the scouting report. All 3 of us know that was addressed. We all know that they were told to get back. And I will say, if I'm going to give Michigan State credit for anything, and I don't want to give them credit for nothing right now, they've done a tremendous job on Keaton Wagner. He doesn't have an inch to get a shot off anywhere. They're doing a really good job defensively, and I knew that coming into this game. I'm really curious to see what Illinois is going to do in the second half to kind of get him going. But if he doesn't get going, and everybody else is doing what they're supposed to, and you walk out with the W, I could care less.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Illinois is going to have to get back.
Nobody gets hurt by that behavior.
By Fears or the official? You mean by the Fears or the official? I mean, because yes. It's like 8-on-5 right now. That's I'm really curious to see. That's going to be addressed in the post game. Win or lose, that's going to be addressed. Brad's going to say something because I know we're talking about the men. The women lost a game the other night, and Shauna definitely addressed it in her post game, her press conference the other day. The officiating has to get better. It just has to be. And I don't understand why this is like this. And it's a great game. It's still a good game. It's a good atmosphere. It's Saturday night. It's prime time. Let the kids decide the game, not the coaches. Let the kids go out there and play the game. Call what you see and don't be intimidated.
Yeah. And look, that's not going to happen. So, I mean, look, we've seen it for years, I mean, why people are scared of this little gargoyle is beyond me. But, again, I guess he can get them fired as referees. But I would just say again, I thought the calls for the most part were decent, except for that play. I would like to see what can Illinois do to free up Wagler a little bit, Brad?
Well, I think you're going to have to do back cuts, and I'm not sure you're going to free him up. They're making a choice to not let him beat you.
Yep.
But I think you've got to get more. You saw them had Stojakovic slipping that screen, and he got downhill a few times. They're making adjustments, and they're going to get some open threes. I think it's big when you can get Hummerkaus hitting those threes. Jake missed a couple of looks, but I think the other thing is when they run some of those actions, that guy is in the gap so hard. He's got his head turned. He's so high. You can back cut and get there. And you can get some openings there. I think the other thing is you notice they played him off the ball a little bit. And I think that's where he can do some damage as a spot up, but he wasn't ready to shoot the one time he caught it. And so that's just something he's going to have to work on. I do like when he gets to the rim and it's like, but I would like him to, one thing he did was he got to the rim and he's trying to finish over guys that are, they have Michigan State is also very, very long, and they have some long guys on him. And so what he's trying to finish over him, he needs to play off 2 feet. And then what he can do is he can kick out to those open shooters because they're collapsing hard. And that's something he's got to really, I think that's just a little bit, he's still a freshman, guys. And we saw in Nebraska, he had a rough first half, and then the second half he scored 23 or something. So just have to be patient and let it come.
My thing, adjustment, if I'm making an adjustment, usually Merkovic could bring the ball up the court and he'll run right back to it. Stay away from it. Like Brad just said, Brad, that was on point. Don't run back to it like they do Stojakovic. He doesn't run and get the ball. If David's there, do that exchange with Stojakovic and Merkovic, and then you can get Keaton on backdoors because 2 people aren't going to guard him if he's on the baseline because they guard him up top because that's where he's most effective at.
Okay, guys, we will be back at the end of the game 5 minutes after. Until then, go Illini.
Stone.